Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm LeetCoder, and today we have an amazing problem for you guys. We're going to be talking about. It's called kids with greatest number of candies, right? So already know this is going to be a great one, guys. Um, so let's read the prompts very quickly. So it says there are n kids, right, with candies. Okay, you're given an integer array candies, where each candy I, right, represents the number of candies the eighth kid has, right? So he says it in an integer extra candies, right? Denoting the number of extra candies that you have. Okay. So he says return a Boolean array of results, right? I'm saying of length n, right? Where result of I is true if after giving the kid the eighth kid all the extra candies, right? They will have the greatest number of candies among all of the kids or false otherwise, right? Let's just note that multiple kids can have the greatest number of candies, okay? That's a good thing that they told us that, guys, right? So they're, so just a quick recap, right? So they're going to give us this candies array, right? Which will be having information about the uh, all of the kids, right? So at every index represents a kid, right? And the value at that end at each index, right, is going to be the amount of candies that that kid has, right? I'm saying, and we'll also be given the extra candies variable that's represent the extra candies that we have, right? So now they're saying that to return a Boolean list, right, or array, right, to have true or false, right, if after we give every kid in there, right, we give them like the extra candy, right, that we have, right, which is on we just add the extra candy to the candies they already have, right? So if we're to give that kid that candy, if that kid ends up having the maximum amount of candy out of all of the kids, right? We return, guys, right? What they said, right? Return true. What I'm saying? If that's the case, right? After we give all get that candy, then we it has the most amount of candy, then we just return true. And if it's still not, if it that kid doesn't have the most amount of candies, right? Then we return false, guys. So let's go through a couple examples. I think that'll make a lot more sense. So you can see from this, right? We have 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, right? And the extra candy is 3. And this is the output result that we're given, right? So how they end up with that, right? So the first kid had 2 candies, right? And then we ended up adding 3 candies to its value, right? And after that, the kid ended up with 5 candies, right? So now it has the greatest amount out of all the kids, right? So now the amount will be, so you have 5, 3, 5, right? Even though there's another 5, right? It's um it has the greatest amount of candies along with this kid that's right there, right? I'm saying. So they have the those are the kids with the most amount of candies, I'm saying. They have the same value of candy, right? So out of all of the kids, right? I'm saying. So kid two, right? Three, they had 3 candies, right? And then we give them the extra candies, right? You know what I'm saying? So now after we did that, they ended up with 6 candies, guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Which is the greatest out of all of the kids, right? I'm saying 'cause that's the highest one. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the first one we had a tie with the highest one. It was still the highest one. So we still accounted for that, right? So that's how we have true and true, right? And then we have this one, 5 and 3, which is 8, which was this one, right? 5 plus 3, right? 8 candies, so it's true, right? And then this one's gonna be false 1, right? Because we did this kid had 1 candy and then we gave it 3 candies, right? And it ended up with 4 candies, guys, right? Which is not the greatest at all, right? I'm saying because the greatest one is 5, right? So if it was um equal or greater, then we would have accounted for it, guys, right? I'm saying. And then this one, right? 3 plus 3, right? Equals to, for the last one, 6, right? That's how we ended up. So since it is greater or equal to than 5, right? So we say that's true, guys, right? So yeah, so it's pretty much it's the same logic, I'm saying. So this one we have 4, right? 4 is the highest one, right? So now we do, and then extra candy is 1, right? So we do 4 plus 1. Obviously 5 will be, that's why this is true, right? But see the second kid, right? Or any other kid for that matter, right? I'm saying, even though you add 1 to their value, it's still not greater than or equal to the greatest one, right? So that's why they all end up being false except for the first one, right? So which is very logical. So yeah, so how can we solve this problem, guys, right now? How can we do that, right? So how do we traverse the array in such a way to efficiently solve this? So the most obvious way we can end up going about it, guys, right, would be to have um, two for loops, right? Two for loops, right? So two for loops, right? So for every index, right, for every kid, right, we add the value, right? You know what I'm saying? And then we check the remainder of the array to see if there's any if there's any value that's greater than it, right? You know what I'm saying? So as long as no, so we add, so we do 3 plus 2, right, which is 5, and then we get the 5, right? We check the remainder of the array if there's any value greater than 5, right? If there is a value greater than 5, then we're gonna say false. That kid doesn't have the greatest, even after giving him them extra candy, you know what I'm saying? Um, so that's kind of logic about it, right? So and then we keep doing that, right? And then but that's not too efficient, right? You know what I'm saying there's no need to keep searching the array over and over again, you know what I'm saying, for a value, right? And there's got to be an optimization that we can do because that will end up in be n squared, guys. So how can we do this, guys, right? A good way of going about this, pretty logical way, would be to about if we were to obtain the maximum value out of the whole array, right? You know what I'm saying? Get the maximum value, right? So after we do that, right, we obtain the maximum value that's gonna cost us a like of n, right? Which is not bad at all. And then after we obtain that information, we could loop through again, right? But this time we add the values, right? We add the value, we add the extra candies to every kid, right? At every index, right? And then we check if that value that you obtain, right? So 2 plus 3, uh is it greater or equal to the maximum, right? If it is greater or equal, then we say, oh, that's true, right? This kid has the highest amount of candies out of all of the kids, right? I'm saying because it is greater than or equal, right? And if it doesn't fit that condition, we just return false, guys, right? So that's kind of the logic to go about it, right? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys are able to understand. So let's quickly go ahead with the implementation, guys, right? Okay, so right now it's gonna be reverse simple. So we're gonna have a simple for loop, right? This for loop is gonna be easy. For is gonna be easy. So we're gonna have and candies, right? And so all right, so now we're gonna do, so we have a maximum variable, 0, right? I'm saying max num, right? So once we do that, guys, right? I'm tripping. So it'll be max is equal to that max, right? Which is the max or that candy at that particular index, right? So we obtain the maximum one, right? See, it's pretty simple. And after we do that, right, we just output, we just have a result, right? And once we have the result, guys, so we initialize the result that we're going to return, guys, right? And then after what's next, guys, we're going to pretty much look through the array, guys, right? Candies at length, I plus plus. And then what we're going to add here, guys, right? You know what I'm saying? The logic right there. So if the candies, right? Candies at that index, right? You know what I'm saying? Plus, right? So now if that kid at that particular index, right? You know what I'm saying? And then now we're gonna add the extra candies to its value, you know what I'm saying? If that's greater than or equal to the max amount of candy, right? If that statement is true, right? After adding the extra candies, if that value that we get is greater than or equal to the max, then for that kid at that index, right, we will be outputting true, right? Otherwise, we return false, guys, right? Simple as that, right? So we return the output result, guys, right? Let's press run code, see if we pass the small test case. Let's see if we pass all the test cases, guys. Awesome, we're able to pass all the test cases, guys. So if you guys found value in the video, guys, make sure to give me a like. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe because I'll be doing a lot of other videos just like this one. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.